This is me, and this is my price collector app interpreting everything written in this image perfectly 100% of the time.
Look at that!
But to understand how I got here, we need to rewind a little. I firmly believe that games prepare us for any real-life situation, and if you like video games, this video is for you. Because just like wild animals play to learn how to hunt, run, and cooperate, and children learn all kinds of things while playing, I learned to drive in a simulator like this. Well, actually a lot cheaper, and I passed the driving test on the first try, and to my surprise and my friends' sorrow, they told me that almost nobody manages to do that. Of course, I'm not bragging about myself, I'm trying to say that you can train any skill, such as buying and selling things, say cars at auction, in a virtual environment to develop a keen eye that will allow you to make a lot of money in real-life auctions, be it cars, any product, or even the stock market, why not? And what better place for that than the game you're used to playing? With that in mind, I'm developing an online platform that is a price chart app just like those used by professional stock market investors, so you can compare, analyze, and end up buying or selling cars at auction in Forza Horizon 4, and hopefully in the next games in the franchise to make big money in the game. What I hope will happen is that you learn to use the platform through several short videos of my own making and earn easy money in the game. But not only that, if you start to enjoy making money in Forza by analyzing trends, you end up developing this skill that is not only useful but good for your pocket in real life as well. With that in mind, I've already started setting up the website that will support the platform and talked about the project, a prototype, and a complete redesign of the site in 3 videos that, if you wanna see, I leave them in the first link in the description. With these 3 steps, the site is practically done. Now we just need to finish 2 things that make up the very core of a project like this. They are reading car prices in the game and assembling charts with them. As you may already imagine, I took my laptop and a good keyboard and headed straight in. What I needed to do was collect the car prices in the game in some way, so the first thing that came to mind was to use a tool like Cheat Engine, which works like this. Computer programs usually deal with data flow inside them, which includes the prices we need, as if it were a telephone line. Cheat Engine plays detective and taps that line, managing to access information that is not usually available to players, giving us the sweet Benjamin's values. There was only one catch. Microsoft decided to follow the dark path and hide all game data in a folder inaccessible to the user, which basically cut our telephone tab. So I had to resort to plan B, and what I thought was, if I can look at the screen and tell you that this car costs 10,336,000 credits, there had to be a way for the computer to see that too and to be sure of that value. The good news is that someone has thought of that before, and it's called computer vision. One of the ways by which it finds objects on the screen is by finding elements' edges and the closed paths they form. Then, it can tell me that it's seeing elements here, and even here. My strategy was to look inside each of these squares, looking for which pixels had text color and which had background color. I say it was because I soon realized that I would have to define a huge number of points and then an immense number of comparisons for each combination of colors and pixels that the computer sees. And I don't even have to say that I wasn't at all in the mood to do it by hand. What was not to my surprise is, as Sir Isaac Newton already said, if I have seen further, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants. There's no better quote to describe how I felt the moment I discovered that, with just one line of code, I could use what some good souls spend a lot of time developing to simply ask, take this picture, tell me what's written on it. And the best thing is, it works! Test after test, the program was able to tell me the exact price values almost always. Is the car worth nothing? Okay. The car's worth a few hundred? Cool. Already in the millions? No problem. It even tells me which car is being shown. We can even throw a curved ball in the shape of a name, with dots, dashes and symbols, but the program doesn't even flinch. With a few exceptions, but I can forgive those, come on. After a long day's work, it's time to let the computer rest and look upon the future. The last step left to complete this incredible project is to put all these prices on charts so that you can analyze, earn money in the game, and trying to fill your pockets in real life too. Because as Formula 1 teams and even aircraft piloting schools regularly use simulators to train future pilots, you also have this right on the Racing Legends website. And that has a pretty obvious reason. The more you train, no matter if in the real world or in games, the better you get. Of course, not all aspects are trained, which is why we eventually leave the virtual world, but for that, you have to take the first step and subscribe to the channel to be notified when the site is ready to use. While you wait for the site, how about taking a look at these other videos? I create content about real projects, tuning tips, the best ways to make money in Forza, and even driving tips. Watch one, you may like it.